This is the Louie T Network.
Louie T Live. Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to my final live stream of the night, and I've been at it all day long. It's been a marathon here on the Louie T Network, and I thank every single one of you who have joined me at some point, whether you've been here since the first stream, Titans and Bears, or you just joined me for the Redskins and Bengals, or you're here for the nightcap of Vikings at home hosting the San Francisco 49ers. But it's been a long day. I've got a little bit of voice left, so I'm going to use it all on the remaining game of the night, the last game of week 3 of the preseason, the quote-unquote dress rehearsal. And we've seen some good football today. We've seen some teams struggle. We've seen some teams play well. We've seen some individual units and players play well. And I think this is a situation where you're looking at the 49ers. Billy Hope's going to take the field, and you want to see him come out and get this offense on track, see them move the football, try to get some points on the scoreboard, which have been hard to come by for the 49ers this preseason. And also defensively, I think this is a defense that can actually be pretty good and keep them in some ball games, but you want to see them go out and play as that kind of group. And if you're the Vikings, you're at home. You've got Sam Bradford as your starting quarterback for the second consecutive year. You want this offense to continue to get better, be able to run the football effectively. You get Latavius Murray back in your first chance to see him tonight, along with Dalvin Cook. So you've got some guys out there that can run the football. You want to see them be able to spread the football around offensively. Defensively, still get after the quarterback, still do some things defensively against a 49ers team that should struggle to move the football against your defense. You want to see the defense put the clamps down against a 49ers offense that isn't all of that as it stands right now. But we'll see what happens as we get ready for kickoff in this game, and hopefully you're out there joining me. And if you are, thank you for joining me. And if you want to have your comment read, use the hashtag #LouieTLive to have your comment read on the air. Also, I'm on Twitter. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. If you want your comment read on Twitter, make sure you use the hashtag #LouieTLive there as well. So, with that being said, let's see what you get tonight. And kickoff, touchback, Vikings will get it first. You're looking for an improved offensive line, and I'm looking for Laquan Treadwell to do something. We talked about a guy that hasn't really done much, that wears the same number 11 for the Chicago Bears, and Kevin White. Looking for Laquan Treadwell to start getting busy. Look at that hit to start it off for this 49ers defense. Look at that. Reuben Foster immediately making his presence felt. And that's why a lot of people couldn't understand why this guy slipped in the draft. Look at this explosiveness, guys. Wow. That's lightning quick. He gets out there, and Dalvin Cook never stood a chance. And that's what they want in the middle of this 49ers defense. Oh, fumble. Sam goes down, and it's a very ominous start for the Vikings in this game, as now you're looking at a 3rd and long situation after losing a yard or 2 on the first dump down, and now you lose another 4 or 5 on the missed exchange between the running back and Sam Bradford. Cook elbowed the ball out of his hands. So now you're looking at a 3rd and long situation. 3rd and 22. Loss of 7 there. 49ers rush 4, drop 7, and Laquan Treadwell gets his first grab of the night. That looks good, but it's still going to be short by about 4 yards. But that's got to feel good to get him involved nice and early. So 49ers forced to punt. And Curley fields it around the 21-yard line. And that's where the 49ers will start their drive, right around the 20. See if they can't get this ground game going. Carlos Hyde up the middle, and he gets about a good gain of 6. So now we're sitting here with a 2nd and about a 5. A nice throw by Hoyer over the middle to Pierre Garcon, and he's going to be a big acquisition for this team. He's going to bring toughness on the offensive side of the football, a really reliable receiver. And he's a guy that they can get the football to in some critical situations and know that he's going to come up big for them. And so Pierre Garcon there on the slant, catches the football, gets up the field, and gets them the first down of the night for either team. Carlos Hyde with another carry. This time not as much as he did on the first carry.
Shanahan is going to follow in his father's footsteps over there, and he really was one of the plums out there, offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, set all kinds of records with the Falcons a season ago, and now he's going to get his shot. He'll call the plays here, did not hire, did not even name an offensive coordinator. He just didn't want to put that kind of pressure on somebody who really didn't have the responsibility.
All right, Vikings blitz. Anthony Barr comes in scot-free, but not before Billy Ho is able to connect with Pierre Garcon again. This guy's going to be huge for the 49ers this year. As a Redskin fan, watching Garcon over the last 3 years has been a pleasure. About 5 years, 4 or 5 years watching Garcon.
One of those guys that just very rarely drops a pass, dropped only one pass a season ago. And that sort of veteran stability is so needed just to make plays and continue to press the ball down the field. Shanahan knows him well. He was in Washington.
Billy Ho going up top. He's got a wide open receiver. Touchdown, Marquise Goodwin. That guy's got speed to burn, and he absolutely ran past the entire Minnesota Vikings defense. There must have been a breakdown somewhere back there because there was not a Viking defender within 5 to 7 yards of Marquise Goodwin. Let's see what happens. Harrison Smith fell asleep behind the wheel, it looked like. I got to see that from another angle. Yeah, they turned him free, and Harrison Smith is just absolutely lost. And he just, and Xavier Rhodes was looking for help to the inside, and he got none from Harrison Smith. And that was definitely a breakdown. And that's what the preseason is all about, ironing out the kinks so that these types of things don't happen week 1 versus New Orleans. But my goodness, that was explosive. And that's what you get with that kind of speed. And that's what you're going to get with Kyle Shanahan and his offense is the ability to run it. And then right when you're expecting run, you catch the safety flat-footed, and you get a guy like Marquise Goodwin who's running a 4.28 to run right by your corner and your safety. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, it's 7-0 San Francisco 49ers. That's an impressive start for the 49ers. Very impressive start. Let's get to some comments. Matthew Lynch says, key matchups in this game. Well, for me, the key matchup that I'm looking at from a Viking standpoint, you just saw a little bit of it, is can they stop the run and force Billy Hoyer, or Billy Ho as I call him, but Brian Hoyer, to beat them? You don't want to be able to allow them to run the football consistently like we saw on that drive where they had a little bit of success, and you catch Harrison Smith flat-footed, and all of a sudden they can go up top, because that's the staple of Kyle Shanahan's offense, is to be able to run the football, get the defense running, stretch them out with that zone run blocking scheme and those stretch handoffs, and the next thing you know, you pull it out of the belly of the back and you go up top, and that's what you saw right there. That was beautifully executed by Billy Ho. Great throw there. He was having a hell of a season last year before he got injured with Chicago, and you saw a little bit of it there. As far as the 49ers are concerned, what you want to see, because I think they're going to win games defensively. If they're going to win some games this year, they're going to win them on the defensive side of football. They've got to stop teams from scoring. So I want to see what the Vikings offensively can do against that 49ers defense that's much improved, that's revamped. And look, this is a much different 49ers roster. They've turned over a lot of this team, a lot of different faces and names on both sides of the football. They're very young on the defensive side of the football. They've got a ton of guys that are either first or second, maybe even third-year players. But in any event, a lot of young guys. You want to see how they mesh together on the defensive side of the football. So you want to see if the 49ers can get after the Vikings, and if the Vikings can maybe get the run game going, get some things going offensively and score the football. You don't expect their defense, that being Minnesota, to give it up like they just did on the opening possession. We'll see if they can clean that up. Jeff P says, that wide receiver class with Doxson and Treadwell has been atrocious so far. Yeah. Also in that first round was the Texans wide receiver Will Fuller, and he hasn't been healthy either. So, yeah, it's been a little rough for those guys. Black Al B says, how did the 49ers get the first score? So they get a stop. Vikings go 3 and out after some miscues. You got a handoff to Dalvin Cook, his first of the game. On first down, they try to dump down to Dalvin Cook. He gets blown up by Reuben Foster for a -2 on the play. Then the very next play, they go fake on a shotgun handoff, and as Sam Bradford is looking to throw it, Dalvin Cook elbows the ball out of his hands, and Bradford is able to recover, but it's a loss of 9 on the play, sets up 3rd and 22. You complete an 18-yard pass to Treadwell, but of course, 18 isn't enough for the first down. You punt. And the 49ers do some good things offensively with the run game a little bit. They also have 2 good completions to Pierre Garcon, both for first downs, setting up play action fake, Billy Ho up top to Marquise Goodwin, who's one of the fastest players in the National Football League, who blows by your entire defense. And the big culprit on the play was Harrison Smith, who got caught flat-footed. Xavier Rhodes was looking for help, safety help over the top to the inside, got none, and Goodwin ran past the whole defense. No one was within 5 yards of him when he caught the football in the end zone for about a 45 to 50-yard touchdown. So that's how we sit here at 7-0. You're now fully up to speed. 49ers with a penalty. They can't afford to do that defensively this season if they want to have a shot. That's going to give the Vikings a first down, as it was 2nd and 1. Play action fake for Bradford as he's looking up top. He dumps it down. A little bit of pressure from the 49ers. I love watching young defenses run around, man. This 49ers defense is young and talented. Eric Armstead got in there and absolutely delivered a shot on Sam Bradford. And I think this is a more natural defensive front for them. These guys playing a four-man. They dumped him, boom. And that's 300 pounds, folks, dumping down on Bradford. So that's big. But that dump down did get 9, setting up a 2nd and 1. They run it. Reed coming off the backside can't get there fast enough, and that's going to be a first down for the Vikings. But that 49ers defense is so young and a lot of talent. I love what I saw out of Rashard Robinson last year as a 6'2 corner. Didn't think he would amount to much. Didn't play football coming out of LSU because he had gotten suspended and hadn't played football in like 2 years. And I thought he needed to put on weight, and that got balled out last year, despite the 49ers struggles. You look at what they've drafted over the last few years up front with those 2 tree trunks from, sack. Speaking of those tree trunks from Oregon, look at Eric Armstead eating over there, man. And boy, he looks like he's in tremendous shape. Good grief. He looks like he's in great shape. And remember, they're not even starting the Stanford kid Solomon Thomas in this game. They're starting Earl Mitchell, so they got stuff on the bench that can come in and still hurt you. 2nd and 17 after the sack. I'm eager to see how Eli. Screen, got to be a screen. Good hustle by Earl Mitchell, even though he didn't make the tackle, to try to get a piece of the ankle. So they get a nice chunk there on that screen, probably able to get it down to about 3rd and 7 or so after the screen. So now it makes it 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 10, still 3rd and long. Haven't seen Stephon Diggs touch the ball yet. Neither Adam Thielen. Be a nice opportunity here on 3rd and long to try to get the ball to some of your playmakers to see if they can't make a play for you here. '49ers come on a blitz. They get to Sam Bradford. And luckily, Cook came over. Or that blitzing corner, Williams would have came off the edge there and destroyed him. Elvis Dumerville, a nice little veteran to come in on 3rd downs. But look at him come over. Look at Dalvin Cook come over. If he doesn't come over here, he is going to get blazed at the end of this. Boom! Look at that blitz pickup. That was gorgeous, because if he doesn't get that, Sam Bradford might have a concussion. Great pickup there, but Bradford still went down. Robert Saleh is really bringing pressure early on in this game, the new defensive coordinator for the 49ers. So the 49ers able to force the punt. They'll take over from about the 11 or 12 yard line. We'll see what this offense can do now, getting the football back for the 2nd time. Let's get to some of your comments. Remember, I'm on Twitter @InTheLabRoom. Use the hashtag LouieTLive if you want to comment. I'm also here on the live stream in the comment section, scrolling through and picking out comments. So use the hashtag LouieTLive if you want your comment read on the air. And make sure, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel Louie T Network for more great content if you haven't already done this. Randolph Carter Jr. also brought up a good point we were talking about earlier with the receivers in that 2016 NFL draft with Doxson and Will Fuller and Corey Coleman. Hasn't been a great group. Laquan Treadwell. Those first rounders have struggled mightily. However, he says Michael Thomas for the Saints has really stepped up. And he's emerged as the #1 receiver out in New Orleans. And so that's a really good point, that he's been probably the best receiver out of that entire draft class as it stands. Black Al B says, good looking. Our defense got to wake up. No doubt, man. You know I got you. Matthew Lynn says, when is the NFC East breakdown? That will be on Tuesday night. It'll be the first of the night. So right now we're looking at around 7 on Tuesday August 29th. So we'll be breaking down the NFC East and the NFC or AFC West, if I'm not mistaken.
Watch his release time here. 0.33 seconds. That's up there among the quickest in the league. Even when he's throwing deep, gets the ball out of his hands very, very quickly. Tight motion, no little flip under, nothing exaggerated going backwards. Hit it right on the button.
When Billy Ho is on, I'm gonna tell you what, man. When Billy Ho is on, he can get it done at a starting quarterback caliber level in this league. We saw it with the Bears last year. We saw it at times with the Texans, but when he's not on, boy, is he bad. So that's the key for the 49ers is keeping him clean with the run game, keeping him clean up front, offensive line-wise, and taking some of the pressure off of him. And guys got to win. Pierre Garcon won on that first possession, which helped them set up that play-action fake deep shot. Got to have guys win to get him the football.
Can't pull back that much money, so they changed the name and like he's like this ultimate weapon or whatever it was they ended up changing the name to, and then they said, okay, we can pay him now.
Offensive weapon. Anything to make it a little better on the books, huh?
Absolutely. But you'll see Juszczyk doing a lot of different things this season.
Dark Sealer 1995 says, do you think that the Niners could go after Cousins after the season? Absolutely. And what's also going to determine that is how well they play at the quarterback position in 2017. I think there are two really big factors. One, how bad are they as a football team? If you've got the number 1 pick, if you've got the number 2 pick in the draft, do you need to go after Kirk Cousins? When you can get, and again, this is assuming that all of the quarterbacks that can do come out in the draft, i.e. Sam Darnold and company. Josh Rosen, those types of guys, right? But I've heard some bad things about Josh Rosen, speaking of which. I actually liked his comments about college football and how, you know, players, college football and school don't mix and all that stuff. I find some of that to be truthful, but I've heard he's a jerk. He's a head case, or not necessarily a head case, but he's a jerk, and that his teammates don't like him, and that not a lot of people on campus like him, and he's arrogant. He's a little pompous. I don't know him. I can't confirm nor deny any of that stuff, but, I mean, if he's a good quarterback, he's a good quarterback. We're going to see, because I still got my doubts about him. As on 3rd and 4, Carlos Hyde catches it out of the backfield, picks up about a good 15. Billy Ho quickly, and they talked about this already, Billy Ho quickly getting the football out of his hands, and they convert on 3rd and 4 for a pickup of 15. Vikings come with a blitz, and they pay for it. Nobody picks up the back out of the backfield. And so Billy Ho quickly recognizes that and makes them pay for blitz, and both linebackers in the A-gap. So now they hand it off to, who's number 49? All right, Matt Breda. I want to see Joe Williams get some touches. I don't know if he's healthy. I don't know what's going on with him, but, you know, that's a guy that I really like coming out of Utah. And I think he fits Kyle Shanahan's offense beautifully.
I think they want to make sure Joe Staley makes it to opening day. I hope.
Opening day, 2 weeks from today, they'll open home.
Play action fake. Look at that. Pierre Garcon, boy. Boy, we going to miss him in D.C. Another hell of a catch. Coverage draped all over him, and he still catches it. Good throw by Billy Ho. That's why Kyle brought him in. Kyle knows him. Kyle trusts him, and this is why. Right here. Fake right there. Put it out. Linebackers draw up. Makes it an easy window to get it into. That's not bad coverage at all by the youngster right there. Trey Wayans is in his hip pocket. He's right there. And that's just strong hands and an even better throw. Not much you can do about that. But Billy Ho out of the backfield to the running back. And Breda catches the football for a nice gain there. So, again, you're staying ahead of the sticks. So you get about 5 on that first play. So you got to like that. So like I said, one is you got to have the pick. Two, if you got, let's say the 49ers win 6 games this year and they end up with the 9th or 10th pick, then maybe they feel compelled to go after Kirk Cousins in free agency because they know they're not going to be in a position to draft a quarterback that they may like. But if Billy Ho plays well at the quarterback position and they feel confident that he can get it done, because Kyle Shanahan has had success with Billy Ho before. And look at this, play action fake, Kyle Juszczyk, big free agent acquisition from Baltimore, catches the football, rumbles for another 15, and they're moving the ball in this Vikings defense again. They're in the Vikings territory, and they got another drive going. So, what you got to take into consideration is how this season goes. But they've got the most cap space available, and they can definitely go after Kirk Cousins if they want. And a lot of people, including myself, think that that's exactly what they're going to do. But got a lot of football to play, and a lot of season left as it hasn't even started yet. We'll see what happens. Screen set up for Carlos Hyde. He's got some space. Picks up about a good 6, and they continue to get good gains on first down, putting themselves in some advantageous situations for second down. You can go play action fake on 2nd and 4. You can run it. You can throw another short pass to Pierre Garcon and pick up a first down. They are moving the football. This is impressive. If you're a Vikings fan, this is not impressive. The 49ers have controlled this entire first quarter. They've moved the football effectively and efficiently. And defensively, they've gotten off the field versus the Vikings. They've sacked Sam Bradford already. This is impressive. Very impressive. They hand it off to, I didn't like that handoff there. They get back to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd and 4 as that's the last play of the first quarter. But it's a great start to the game. They're already in field goal range, all the 49ers. See if they can't convert. They've done a great job in this first quarter of converting 3rd down and manageable. Pierre Garcon's been the target of choice. We'll see if they continue to do that as that's going to end the first quarter. Vikings down 7-0 and being dominated, really, on the side of the football that we thought they would have an opportunity to dominate this game in defensively. 49ers coming out playing inspired ball right now. Let's get to some more comments.
Hey, cute dog. What do you feed him? I give him Murphy Blue.
The Black L.A.B says, good grief. It looks like it's going to be another long season for the O-line. O-line coach Tony Sperano needs to be fired. Well, you got to have the horses up front first. But I tell you what, some of that has to be put on guys getting open. You know that your offensive line isn't the best in the world. You got to make the adjustments like you did last year, getting the football out of his hands quicker. But at some point, those guys have to block up front and can't run the shorter routes all the time. You end up in a 3rd and 9 or 10 like you were on the last possession after the screen. And you got to run longer developing routes. And you got to have your offensive line be able to hold up. So, yeah, the line needs to be accountable, or else it's going to be another long year for the Vikings. Camden Dorian says, I was hoping the Colts would fire Pagano and go after Kyle, but we keep messing up. I actually don't have a problem with Chuck Pagano, but, I mean, I thought him and Ryan Grigson were going to go at the same time, personally. And when they kept Pagano but got rid of Grigson, I said, okay, I like that. I think there's some talent in Indy this year, but with Andrew Luck's health being up in the air to start the season off, that's something that got to concern you as a Colts fan. Dark Sealer 19, and I tell you what, Andrew Luck and Kyle Shanahan would have made some beautiful music together. I can assure you of that. That's the last thing I'll say about that. But in any event, Dark Sealer 1995 says, I wish the 49ers would have kept Harbaugh. He made that team amazing, and then he goes to Michigan and makes them great. The problem with that is I've heard this a number of times with when it regards Jim Harbaugh. He wears on people quickly. And his welcome may have been worn out in San Francisco. I hated the way that situation ended because it wasn't always the most efficient way in San Francisco, but it was always effective. And whether it was Alex Smith, it was Colin Kaepernick, it was defensive struggle, it was offensive shootout, like it was against Green Bay in the playoffs, he always found a way to get it done. And it's unfortunate that that situation didn't work out and it didn't end on better terms, but you've moved on. I like your situation with John Lynch as your GM and Kyle Shanahan as your head coach, and you move forward. Billy Ho getting rid of touchdown. Wow, this is impressive, man. I'm not going to lie to you. This is impressive. Now, again, it's preseason. Take it with a grain of salt. Not a lot of game planning going on, but, man, 2 impressive opening drives for the 49ers to start this game. Look at this throw. Carlos Hyde runs the arrow route over the middle, beats the line, safety, and there's nobody over the middle of the field, and he walks into the end zone. I've always been a Carlos Hyde fan. His problem has been staying healthy. Billy Ho, man. Billy Ho can run your show. You keep him clean, the boy's mean. And he's 14-0 right now over these Vikings on the road. Kyle Shanahan's a bad, bad man. I've been trying to tell people that ever since his days in D.C. And, hell, we can go back to the Houston days when he took Matt Schaub and turned that man into a 4,000-yard passer every year. Kyle Shanahan's a bad, bad man, and you finding that out right now. Consistency is the key. Can the 49ers play like this for 48 minutes, week in and week out? I have my doubts, but this is a nice start in a game that we perceive to be a dress rehearsal. These boys looking damn good. Black LB says Smith must still be injured from last season. He's getting exposed, and he's been the source of the 49ers game plan tonight, because they go play action fake. He bites up on it. They get the touchdown. They isolate him one-on-one right there out of the backfield with Carlos Hyde, who beats him on the arrow route. Easy walk-in touchdown. So right now, boy, Niners looking good. Looking real, real good.
Looks like Mr. Potato Salad didn't sign up for the NFL's official fantasy football game on NFL.com.
One click to optimize your roster.
And boom, you're a boss.
I got David Johnson.
I got Mike Evans.
Just give me a rock. We're gonna make magic.
Ah, it's a hell of a start, man. I'm impressed. Let me check Twitter real quick.
NFL.com makes it easy for anyone to be a total boss.
And remember, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Louie T Network. More great content to come as we get ready to gear up for the 2017 regular season. But I didn't expect this start by the 49ers. I've watched them a couple of times. Granted, it was in limited capacity, but I watched them struggle enough this preseason to think it's going to be a work in progress. But this looks like a totally different team. And look, they put the graphic up that I think kind of speaks to that. I watched them against Denver. They didn't look like they had a chance in hell in that game. Granted, that Denver Broncos defense is a lot different and probably better than this Vikings defense. But, man, this is impressive here. And I didn't see this coming. But it's preseason. Take it with a grain of salt.
Who are these extra people on the sideline?
He said they call it general manager for a reason. They're in charge of all the general stuff.
So, Niners to kick off the football here, up 14-0. And Vikings will start their possession at the 25-yard line after the touchback. They need to get something going here. They need to get something going offensively here. Pick up some first downs, move the football a little bit, and see if they can get some points on the scoreboard. They had a nice little drive going. Bradford takes a sack and pushed them out of field goal range. And 49ers took the football after the punt, moved it right down the field and into the end zone again. Still haven't seen Latavius Murray tonight. So Bradford to go. They finally get the football in the hands of Adam Thielen, but he's wrapped up quickly on the play.
Over the last 3 years in the 48 games, he played in only 20 of them here. Suspended for almost all of the 14 season, played in 15, got hurt last year. Week 2 came back in week 15 for one game. So they played 20 of the 48 games the last 3 years
I'm impressed with this 49ers defense, too. They're flying to the football. I told you they're young, they're aggressive, they're fast. Good catch by Thielen there. They got to get him. And I still haven't seen their best receiver touch the football yet, and that's Stephon Diggs. I want to see him touch the football. But Adam Thielen is another guy that I've been ultra impressed with since they got him. Look at this catch out in front of him. I like Adam Thielen a lot, man. Hooked on a feeling, man. It's Adam Thielen. This guy has been impressive since he's been given an opportunity. I need to see Diggs get the football, though. And I don't care if it's a bubble. Thank you. I don't care if it's a bubble, a hitch, a slant. They need to get Stephon Diggs the football. They need to get him a touch.
When you think about this 49ers defense, think about the Seattle Seahawks. That's basically the defense that they're going to run over there with Salah on that side of the ball. And they have a huge investment in this defensive line. Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, now Solomon Thomas, the number 3 overall pick this season.
And he's in the game, speaking of Solomon Thomas right now. All right, and then a gain of about 4 is going to bring up a 3rd and 4 here. And they've invested so much along that defensive line. I think this 4-man front is exactly what they needed to change to. I wasn't feeling the 3-4 in San Francisco, and I love the fact that they come over. They adjust to the personnel that they have, and now you're going to see a change with the 4-3 coming over here. And I think these guys are going to be better suited for this, man. I think they're going to be able to do some things. They got enough guys that they can rotate in and out. They got a lot of young, talented football players that can get it up the field and create havoc in the backfield. I want to see Eli Harold and what he looks like at the linebacker position. Because we assumed that when he was drafted, he was an edge rusher as a stand-up outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense. Now he probably is going to be more of a weak side linebacker in this defense, running around and chasing around tight ends. They might even have him playing strong side now that I think about it, because if you got Reuben Foster, he's probably going to be a weak side linebacker. So I would assume Eli Harold will be more of your strong side guy. Over the middle, Thielen for a 1st down on 3rd and 4. There's a flag on the play. Wouldn't be shocked if that's some kind of illegal shift or formation, being that it came quickly. It is either on the Vikings pre-snap or it's offsides. I'm going to go with the Vikings pre-snap. Say they did a legal shift or formation or something.
Illegal formation by the offense.
That flag came so quick, it had to be a legal formation or a legal shift. So that doesn't surprise me there. Negates a 1st down on 3rd and 4. So that sucks. Now it puts you in a 3rd and 9 situation. And that's what the Vikings, exactly what they don't want.
Every year, because they're trying to make a point, and you just don't see it that often during the course of the regular season. But, you know, even the referee's going to points of emphasis. Right?
So now Latavius Murray sees the field for the first time on 3rd and 9. And we'll see what happens here. 3rd and long for the Vikings. Bradford dumps it down in a no-win situation here. I said I wanted to see Stephon Diggs get the football, but not like that. It almost looked like a give-up check down for Bradford, like he panicked. There's another flag on the field. Let's see what it is.
They went all in because they gave these guys 6-year contracts. If I'm not mistaken, nobody has a longer contract among head coaches in the league right now than Shanahan, and John Lynch at least has a 6-year deal as well.
Well, and what was really
Okay, so no flag on the play. Vikings are going to have to punt, and that was another ugly possession after seemingly having the 1st down, having that negated via penalty. So it was a penalty. It was declined by the 49ers as it's 4th down, and they just don't have any offensive rhythm right now, and we know the defense is getting shredded by this 49ers offense. So this has been a really bad start to the game for the Vikings as they punt again. And they haven't stopped the 49ers on offense, so I'm eager to see if they can get a stop now. So Trent Taylor, their draft pick out of Louisiana Tech, gets to field that punt after seeing Curley back there the first 2 times. And now we're going to see this 49ers offense hit the field again. And if you're the Vikings, boy, do you need a stop bad here or what? It's not looking too good for you right now. So let's get back to some more of your comments, though. Make sure you're using the hashtag LouieTLive if you want your comment read on the air. Let's see. The Black LB says this Shanahan guy knows how to game plan. He knows how to take advantage of situations, and he knows how to play to the strength of his personnel, which is why I think he's one of the best play callers in the league. We saw with the Falcons last year. Everywhere he's gone, success has followed. You can say what you want about him and them not winning the Super Bowl last year and the offensive struggles in the second half of that game, but make no mistake about it. Wherever he's gone, success has followed offensively. Houston with Matt Schaub going over 4,000 yards and Andre Johnson emerging as one of the best receivers in all of football. Arian Foster running for over 1,000 yards. That offense was electric, and he was the mastermind behind it. He moves on to Washington. Say what you want about his time there. Robert Griffin III turned in one of the greatest rookie seasons in NFL history, and it was because Kyle Shanahan and his dad put together an offensive game plan week in and week out that gave him a chance to succeed. We see what kind of quarterback he's been since the Shanahans weren't able to do what they wanted to do with him since the rookie season. And he moves on to Cleveland, gets the most out of. Remember, when he was in Cleveland, Billy Ho started the season off 6-3 and had the Cleveland Browns, yes, the Cleveland Browns leading the AFC North division before it fell apart. But he moves on from Cleveland. He goes to Atlanta, and all he does over there is help them get to the Super Bowl in 1 year. And he moves, or 2 years, excuse me. And then he moves on from there, and boom. He's now in San Francisco, and they look good tonight. We're going to see how long this lasts, but they look damn good tonight. Another play I should fake this time. Hoyer, a little errant, a little high over the middle. Incomplete pass. Probably his first incompletion of the night, if I ain't mistaken. Carlos Hyde, another good run, man. 7 yards, close to 8 yards on 2nd and 10. Gonna put him in a really good 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 situation. So now it's 3rd and 3 after that 7-yard run on 2nd and 10. They need to stop here. The Vikings need to stop. Oh, good defense. And they finally get the stop that they so desperately needed. They needed that in the worst way. Maybe that'll settle them down now. Maybe they'll be able to get into a rhythm offensively. Maybe this game will start to change, and this game will start to go the way that we thought it was. Good play by Robert Sendejo. All right, Marcus Sherrill's a guy that is always a threat to take it back. Gets clipped up and is probably got to about the 19 or so. So 49ers finally have to punt for the first time in the game. Vikings get a stop defensively, and let's see if the offense can't get something going now.
Yeah, during Toyota's National Clearance event, we've got the last of the 2017
Black LB says, on a Sunday with no power, preseason football will suffice. Let's see.
Catches. I want to see touchdowns. I want to see points on the board. The lines are there. Outstanding.
The official fantasy football game of NFL.com makes it easy for anyone to be a total boss.
So, for those watching that are fans of either one of these teams, I've already broken down the Vikings as far as the season is concerned and what I think they're going to do this upcoming season. But the 49ers in the AFC West will be done on August 30th. It'll be a live stream. I'll look at the schedule and give wins and losses for every team in the division at that time. August 30th will be the day that I break those last two divisions down, the NFC West and the AFC South. So, tune into that. As the Vikings get the football back, and they need to start to get something going offensively now. Defense did their job, finally got a stop. Now let's see if we can't get the offense to start doing something now.
By completing 71.6%, and Drew Brees with the second and third best percentages. Ken Anderson makes another appearance on our game tonight, Augustana College in Illinois. But Bradford yards per pass 7, and then Brees, it's a whole different story. These Drew goes downfield a lot, obviously, as did Anderson back in 1982, the strike year when they only played 9 games. But because of the
Black LB says, it's okay, the Vikes are asleep. They're about to wake up. Well, they did it on defense. Finally got a stop on a third down. Let's see if they can't do that on the offensive side now.
You know, and he's talking about not just the offensive line, but just the fact that he's not having to learn a new offense for only the second time in his career. Now they're working on details of this offense. So he's excited about this upcoming year.
And a rookie Pat Elflein out of Ohio State, their third-round pick, trying to win that job. He's in the game.
Dump down to Latavius Murray. He makes a little bit of a move and picks up about a cool 8 on first down. So that's a nice start to the drive. Score is 14-0, 49ers up in the game. 49ers have looked ultra impressive offensively and equally as impressive on the defensive side of the football as they've dominated this game for the first quarter and a half.
Pat Shermer is the offensive coordinator. Remember last year, North Turner was the offensive coordinator and quit at midseason. So Shermer took over.
Another handoff to this time a handoff to Latavius Murray. His first handoff of the night, and he gets about 4 in the first down.
No, he had suffered a torn ligament in that right ankle last season, and he continued to play in pain. After the playoffs, he finally had it checked, and he went into free agency knowing he'd have to have surgery. He told me he wanted to be transparent about the injury when talking with prospective employers, and that he knew he'd end up signing with a team that wanted and trusted him, and here he is out.
Here he is. I wonder if he had any idea they were going to draft the Dalvin Cook, though, in the second round. Right?
Get Stephon Diggs the football. He breaks a tackle and gets about 7 on 1st and 10. And that's why I said you just got to get him the football, man. Good things happen when he touches the ball. He's explosive. He's dynamic. He can be a game changer, man. And so I'm glad to see him get a touch there. I didn't love the first touch of the game for him on that crossing route when he had no opportunity to succeed on like 3rd and 10. And they throw it to him underneath with like 3 49er defenders all around him, but it was a touch nonetheless. Get him in the game, get him involved, and now you see they got him another touch. And Latavius Murray goes for 3 on 2nd and 2 and another first down. As they're moving the football a little bit, getting into a little rhythm, and that's what they needed to do. So they go to Adam Thielen on a jet sweep, and the 49ers are simply not having it. Navarro Bowman, Jaquiski Tart converge on the tackle for about a 2-yard loss. These boys are flying around, man. They are flying around. like I said, man, it's fun to watch a young, talented defense with a couple of veterans sprinkled in there just to keep them grounded. But this is fun to watch because these boys are fast, they're furious, and they flying around. All the F's you like to see on defense. Bradford goes up top to Stephon Diggs. Good play by Rashard Robinson. And it looked like, if I'm not mistaken, that was Elvis Dumerville coming off the edge, getting a little bit of pressure on that backside. Never got his head around. I would have loved to have seen him turn and look, but he didn't run into the receiver, so that's why he wasn't flagged. Oh, Stephon Diggs with a drop on third down, and my man Black L.A.B said they was asleep. They about to wake up. Look like they still sleep to me, man. Got to catch that football. Well thrown ball by Bradford. You don't expect that from Stephon Diggs, who usually is one of the most short-handed receivers on this team. Let it too far into his body. Look like it hit his face mask. Got to catch that one out in front of you, and he knows it. Let that one eat him up. Yum, yum, eat him up. Yum, yum, eat him up. That one ate him up, got all the way to the face mask, and now they got to punt the football. Would have been a first down. Trent Taylor fields the catch, goes for a fair catch at about the 22, and that's where the 49ers will start their next possession, up 14-0 in the game. Black L.A.B says, what role do you see or do you think Michael Floyd will play when he returns from suspension? It's interesting because he's been one of the more consistent receivers in some of the games that I've watched in training camp through the preseason. I think he can have a nice impact on this roster. You look at your receiver core, and outside of Laquan Treadwell, not a lot of big receivers. Thielen isn't the biggest guy in the world. Neither is Stephon Diggs. And so, you know, Treadwell, of course, is a 6'2" guy. But Floyd is a big body receiver at around 6'3" or so. So you love that size and his ability to box defenders out. Gives you a nice target over the middle of the field. And that type of route that you just saw Diggs run, that's a Michael Floyd type of route. A 12-yard dig over the middle. You know you're going to have to take a shot and hold on. And maybe that's something he'll provide this offense with when he comes back. So I see him as a guy that can do a little bit of the dirty work in this offense and potentially get deep on some corners that are unsuspecting, catch them flat-footed and run by him. So you just got to hope he can stay clean off the field. That's been his problem, is his inability to take care of business off the field and stay out of trouble. But that's a terrible drop there on third down by Stephon Diggs, and it forces the punt.
Shanahan knows her very well. She was on the staff last year along with Matt LaFleur, who's now on the staff in San Francisco as well. So,
She's a football player, too.
she played football, all respected, the receivers love her, and here she is, a full-time coach.
49ers take over. Billy Ho, after the sharp start, a little errant now. Missed a guy high and also just missed George Kittle on the out route. That would have been good for about 9 or 10. What up? AJ the Pro, what's good? Another strike to Pierre Garcon over the middle of the field. Boy, he's tough. Like I said, guys like him, invaluable on your roster, especially when you're trying to build it up from the ground up. You need guys that are going to be accountable, reliable, and most importantly, productive. Young guys don't want to hear from someone that's not producing on the field. You can be an old veteran that's done it in this league. Young people don't respect that a lot of times like they should. You get a young guy like Pierre Garcon is going to come in here, outwork the young boys, show them how it's done, and then produce on the field. They're going to follow his lead, and he's been outstanding in this game, and they're going to want to see that from him as the season gets underway. I think Pierre Garcon is going to be outstanding. And he was calling out that safety blitz there, and nobody picked it up. As Harrison Smith comes off the edge, blitzes, and gets to running back. Carlos Hyde in the backfield. Pierre Garcon with another slant in front of Trey Wayans for about a good 7-yard gain. Going to get them back into 3rd and manageable here. 3rd and 4 or so. 3rd and 3. So, Pierre Garcon, man. Just watching him tonight, I already miss him in D.C., man. Already. He's going to be huge for them here in San Francisco. Third and 3 here. It's a big down for the Vikings defense. Everson Griffin blows up the tackle, but Hoyer goes deep. Oh, good play by Trey Wayans to break it up. After Goodwin had already beaten him deep for a touchdown earlier in the game, Trey Wayans with a big knockaway there. Huge play by Wayans.
Nobody can run with you except maybe Marquise Goodwin, the Olympian. So there goes.
He runs right by him, but a great way to stay with it. He reaches in the cookie jar, comes away with the football, knocks it away, and forces the 49ers to have to punt the ball. Billy Ho could have put more on that because Goodwin had actually beaten Trey Wayans on that play, had a step on him. But nonetheless, good play by Wayans to break it up, forces the punt. Still waiting for this Vikings offense to wake up. 4:50 left in the first half. You'd love to see them get something going here on this drive if you're a Vikings fan. Matthew Lynch says, gonna miss Pierre in burgundy and gold. You and a lot of Redskin fans out there, especially ones watching this one. He's a guy that we're definitely gonna miss in the offense because of his ability to do exactly what he's doing tonight, make the tough catches over the middle of the football field and make himself presentable for the quarterback to get him the football. And even when he's covered and got someone draped all over him, with those strong hands, he can still come down with the ball. We saw it earlier on a slant. Trey Wayans draped all over him, making a play for the ball, and Pierre just doesn't care. Got him on his back, snatches the football out of the air, moves the sticks. And those types of guys, like I said earlier, just invaluable on your football team. You can't quantify what guys like that bring to the table, and he's huge for this 49ers team.
Doesn't matter. These boys did not want for anything. Good athletes, good students. People like that. They'll just wake up one morning and turn into Charlie Manson. Kids killing their parents is a crime against society. These boys are not career criminals.
No one's going to hurt you. You don't know. The majority of the Menendez brothers with the title rich punks in the eye.
It's wrong and you know it. At the heart of the story, these boys were just little children, and they suffered years of abuse. What these boys did is not the issue. It's why they did it.
The new kind of Law & Order series, True Crime, The Menendez Murders, Tuesdays this fall. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Progressive Insurance, handing on big savings to you.
All right, so the Vikings are going to start this drive out at their own 13. 4:50 left on the clock. See if they can get something going. Eli Harold off the edge. Almost gets to Bradford. A little bit of, okay. Look at that. Little mobility from Sam Bradford. Something you don't see often. It's probably coming back, though, via holding. Because there were some guys that got beat on that play for the Vikings up front. Eli Harold came off the edge like a screaming banshee out of hell. And somehow he didn't get there. I'm assuming it's holding. Okay, so he went out of bounds and came back in. Yep, foot out of bounds for Latavius Murray. Nice little shovel by Brad. That was impressive by Sam Bradford to elude the rush. For a guy that doesn't use his mobility, what little mobility he has left after the ACL injuries that he sustained, that was nice because there was pressure on him, big time pressure on him. Tank Carradine got loose. Eli Harold came free. And he was able to spin out of that and get to the sidelines and find Latavius Murray, who just didn't realize where he was on the field. So they get a completion on 2nd and 10 after the penalty negates the gain and loss of down. They turn around and get about a 3-4 yard completion, a back on track type of play. So now I think they're going to be in about a 3rd and 6 type of situation here, 3rd and 7. And so now you're in a 3rd and long situation. You don't want to punt the football here. And wide open Treadwell, and it's good to see him get open and catch the football. They're waiting for him to evolve and really show why they spent the 1st round pick on him.
We did last week out of this offensive line. Here we go. These guys on the left side. Nick Easton played center to begin with, and now he's got Rashad Hill, who interestingly may be one of the better pass blockers on this football team, and you just wonder how they might work him into the mix in some way, but they like him as a pass blocker.
Oh, Diggs is struggling, man. Yeah, he's got to come out of the game. They got to get him focused, man. Sam throws a beautiful off play action fake, throws a beautiful dart right in between the 1 and the 4, and he simply he took his eyes off of it. Simply never looked the football in. Hard to get, and we saw this with the Redskins earlier when guys are dropping passes. Hard to get into an offensive rhythm when guys aren't helping you out as a quarterback. They throw a screen to Murray here, and there's not a lot there. And a great hustle by some of the defensive linemen of the 49ers and minimal gain, and now you're sitting there 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 again, 3rd and long, and it should have been 1st down after that catch, and it should have been 2nd and whatever right now. So this is a situation where you kind of feel like it's hard to get out of a rut. You're in a little bit of a rut if you're the Vikings. You can't get out of it because guys aren't making plays right now offensively. Mainly Stephon Diggs. 3rd and 8. Bradford hits Thielen, and he takes a shot from Reed. Eric Reed is a guy that's always been physical. I always worry about him because of his concussion past. But Adam Thielen is feeling that one after coming over the middle. And this is where a guy like Michael Floyd would be beneficial. A lot bigger body. Maybe he's able to lower his shoulder and power forward through that kind of hit. But that was a heck of a hit there. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 2 right there. Told you, this 49ers defense, man, they're going to keep them in some ball games. I didn't expect the offensive flurry that we got early to start this game. And I think Kyle Shanahan might have actually scripted the first 15, and it was beautifully scripted. And they went out and executed, scored 14 points to start, haven't done anything since. However, this defense is going to keep them in ball games this year. I don't know if you can count on the offense to do what they did in the opening 2 possessions of this game consistently, especially with Billy Ho at quarterback, and he's just as inconsistent as you can be at the quarterback position. But one thing's for sure, like I said with the Bears earlier today, I think the Bears, more so with the 49ers than the Bears. 49ers defense, I think, is legit. They got some ballers on that defense. They're going to keep – I said it with Cleveland. Much like I said with Cleveland, who's not going to be very good offensively, and I don't expect a ton out of them offensively, especially with Deshaun Kaiser starting at quarterback. Much like Cleveland, the 49ers are going to be in ball games because of their defense. Their defense is going to be top-notch. They're going to be one of those defenses that they're not going to get a ton of help from their offense, but they're going to be in ball games because their defense is good enough to keep them in some. And so that's going to be interesting as they continue to shut out the Vikings in the first half of this game. Matthew Lynch says, will you be streaming regular season games like this? Probably not. No, I don't want to give you hope. No, I won't be. I'll be doing the post-game show after the game is done, like I did last season. But I won't be streaming during the games like this once the season gets underway.
Did everything that I thought was right at the time, regardless of the result. Our preparation was right, our reasonings were right, and you have to live with consequences, and that's what sports is. And I'm proud of how I handled it, and if that's the case, I can live with it.
Part of the interview at halftime with Kyle Shanahan talking to Mike Tirico last night, talking about obviously what happened in the Super Bowl, the 28-3 lead. They got very aggressive. They went for the kill shot. We all know what happened, the penalty, the sack. Here comes Brady, and the next thing you know, the Patriots win in overtime. And he has to rehash that, something, of course, that he's going to get asked about a lot.
So 4th and 2 at the 2-minute warning. Vikings are going to punt now. And you'll get a chance, if you're a 49ers fan, to see the 2-minute warning and what this offense looks like running the 2-minute drill. So great opportunity there. Trent Taylor comes up, fields the punt at around the 27 and 27, 28-yard line. And now you get a chance to see what this 2-minute offense looks like. You're the Vikings. You want to get one more stop here. Get the football back to your offense and see if you can't get some points before the half. That's what you're looking to do here. Oh, off the edge. Almost gets a sack. Really threw off the timing of the play for Billy Ho, who then wanted to just get rid of it. Some nice pressure off the edge there. I want to see who that was for the Vikings. Theus got beat off the edge there, right off the snap. I wonder if that was Danielle Hunter. It was either Everson Griffin or Danielle Hunter who won right off the snap. It was Griffin that won. Beat Theus right off the snap. Pierre on the crossing route gets him about 2 yards. And that's going to put him in 3rd and 8 with the clock ticking. Got to snap the ball. 2 seconds left on the play clock. The Vikings come with a blitz. Billy Ho can't get away. Vikings get off the field. If I'm Minnesota, I'm calling a timeout. And it doesn't look like they're going to spend the timeout. So that's pretty much the end of the first half. Would have loved to have seen them spend a timeout here, get the football back and see if they can't get at least a field goal before the halftime break. But Looks like they're electing to just sit on this 14-point deficit. And I can't understand. So now the Vikings decide to call a timeout after letting okay, there we go. So they already had called a timeout with 56 seconds left. See, that makes sense. They called a timeout.
Very tough to watch your city get hit by such a bad storm and not be there to help. So what I do want to do is I want to start fundraising because I know that these recovery efforts are going to be massive. I know that there's going to be a whole bunch of people we need to help get back on their feet. I know that there's going to be a lot we need to do to help rebuild. So I'm going to put the link in my bio. You can donate something small, you can donate something big, whatever you can donate, please donate to help these people out.
Good message right there, obviously. Hopefully everybody will pitch in.
There's so many good guys in the National Football League, really are.
So that wasn't a great punt by the 49ers there. So all of a sudden now you got a timeout left. You got about a good 50 seconds. And you got an opportunity to try to go get something before the half and maybe change the way you feel about the way this first half started out. Maybe you finish it with a little bit of a bang. Who knows? Maybe you get a touchdown. But at least try to get a field goal, get some points on the scoreboard, and feel better about yourself going into the halftime break. So the Vikings are going to start this possession with some good field position, out around the 37 of their own 37. Get a nice completion here and get up there and get something going. See, boy, Reuben Foster is just running around hitting folks tonight. They dump it down and Foster absolutely smashes Treadwell over the middle of the field. Bradford sidearms it to the secret weapon out of the backfield, Jerick McKinnon. And that's going to get him up to the 49-yard line, but it's going to force them to spend their final timeout with 20 seconds left. So it's not looking like they're going to be able to do anything here. Boy, Reuben Foster is so aggressive. Damn. And all these teams passed on him. And I know that the whole injury situation and the whole combine situation had people pause with him. But, man, you can get a dude like this to come in and just run around. I'm almost a little mad my Redskins passed on him. But I think we got a good football player at 17. We'll see. They might get a free 5 here. As looks like the 49ers jumped the gun there. 97. So Dakota Watson gives up a free 5. That's going to help the Vikings because they need all the help they can get with no more timeouts left and only 20 seconds. So 23 seconds left. Bradford, get out of bounds. Get out of bounds. Boy, he almost didn't get out of bounds. Who the hell is that? Boy. Who was that? They said it was a rookie out of Virginia Tech. It's a big kid, whoever the hell that is. Bradford gets out of the pocket again. Bradford's showing a little bit of escapability, and he's going to let it loose. Adam Thielen down to the 5. They're not going to have enough time. They're not going to have enough time. They're not going to have enough time. So 49ers find a way to dodge a bullet there. And I got one comment left. Keeban says, Browns name Kaiser starting quarterback. How you feel about that, and do you think they should release Osweiler? Well, I don't think they're going to release Osweiler because of the contract and the hit that they'll take. Because remember, they ate all of the money for the Texans when they made that deal. So they can't just release him. I don't think they will just release him. They can do it if they want to, but I don't think they will. They want to get something for him. I don't think they will get something for him. So I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do with him. As far as Kaiser starting, I'm not a huge fan of it, to be honest with you. I don't think he's ready, but you don't. They don't really have a ton of options out there. If you're going to go young, you might as well go with the best young option you got. That's Deshaun Kaiser, and that's what they're deciding to do. But I don't think he's ready to start. I think that if they had a veteran option that they liked, obviously they don't love Osweiler. If they had a veteran option that they liked, they would have went with that guy right now. But they don't have one that they love, and so you go with the youngest guy that has the most talent, and that guy's Deshaun Kaiser. So you roll with him, you see what you can get out of him, and you hope he's the future at the quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns. So we'll see how that goes. But in any event, it's halftime now. We'll come back. We'll do this for the second half of the game. And I'll see you then. Remember, if it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on the Louie T Network. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. I'll see you for the second half of this game. I'm expecting the Vikings starting units to come back out, as they were not that impressive. The defense did kind of settle in after the opening 2 possessions for the 49ers, but the offense still has a lot to prove. I expect to see them come out for the first possession of the third quarter at least. As far as the 49ers are concerned, they've got to be pleased with what they did, and I would be shocked if they send any of their starters back out for the second half. But again, we will see. But in any event, I'll be back for all of that and more in the second half. I'll see you then. Have a good one. Come back and make sure that you join me.